So I know there's a movement afoot to have better gender diversity on boards. And it's not just in the United States, it's really an international push in many, many locations around the world. And I think it's important because where we've seen diverse boards operate, we've seen better shareholder returns and better results. And I think that mix of capability allows companies to make better decisions. I'm not a big fan of quotas. I worry that government tries to solve problems in ways that are not necessarily helpful to what the marketplace is doing. And you don't want to turn women on boards into checking a box just to have someone on the board who looks different or sounds different. You really want competency and capability on that board, no matter who's on the board, men and women.
Colombia does have quotas for, in 2000, there was a law passed that any government-owned company has to have 30% of women on their boards. But it's only government-owned. We do not have quotas for privately held organizations, nor for publicly traded. It's only for government-owned. The big question is, who are the women that they are putting on those boards? And quotas, I think for the sake of the numbers, are not really what should be driving women getting into the boardroom.
I don't like quotas particularly because I think, especially the word quotas, actually impose that you actually forcing slots to be taken by people that not necessarily are ready for it. However, I do believe on affirmative actions that helps changing the status quo. The status quo will not change by itself.
We're trying to secure at least 1/3 of women on the boards, and let alone the fact that we have very little diversity, gender diversity on the board. The governance or the board is pretty much new concept to Korea, and for Korean corporations to recognize the effectiveness when you have diversity is something that I think this guideline or this stewardship code could encourage.
Should there be a quota or not? Okay, I'm an African American woman, so I feel without certain affirmative action in others, I probably wouldn't necessarily be sitting here talking to you. So should there be quotas? Do quotas work in that way? I believe yes.
In case in Japan, we don't have a quota system, but the stock exchange required that at least one female board member in an organization, and also not only for that, the stock exchange requires a plan for the diversity, and each company has to disclose their plan, and they have to also by every year they have to report the progress, and if they do not achieve the yearly goal, they have to explain why.
I think quotas for women on boards or for diversity on boards are effective. With women corporate directors, I've been around the world. There's many countries that have it, and they've been effective. So I think I'm pretty much for them. Could we ever get to parity? I can't see that in the near future, maybe my lifetime, let's be clear. But closer, 30 to 40%, if we can get to 30 or 40%, that'd be fantastic.